Alright, good afternoon everyone. Today is Tuesday, December 4th, 2012. I am going to go over the results right away. Right now we have an open trade on. Dwayne has an open trade on from, it's actually 14.44 and a quarter on the soybeans. We had discussed putting in a sell stop right here at 14.45 in the live trading room. Dwayne had his sell stop on and he filled right there. No, not there. He filled right there, and he's still short in that trade. If he were to take it off right now, it'd be 4.25 points, $212 and whatever. There, $225 right now. If you were to take the trade off at this moment. Now, the reason I say that is because our morning session didn't go as well as they normally do. Well, hang on. Let me exit on this crude trade right here. I was minus 8 ticks on the crude in the live trading room this morning. Right now I'm plus 8 ticks. I just had a short on there. So I'm plus 8 ticks on the crude right now, but I was minus 8 ticks in the live trading room this morning. I was also minus 6 ticks on gold. I was plus 8 ticks on the ES. I was break even on the NQ and the soybeans, though I did take trades in both of those. Let me start off with the soybeans. Okay. Pre-market, I had drawn in this line in real time, this line in hindsight. They were, or maybe it was the other way around. Anyway, I didn't take either one of those trades. The market, when it opened, it started to consolidate right in this area. It moved up, came back down, didn't give us an entry in here. It did give us an entry on the short side. I took that. It dropped down about 4 or 5 ticks. I put my stop at break even. It came back and stopped me out at break even. Then toward the end of the morning session, it gave us another opportunity in here, and I shorted it at 14.47. It dropped down about 5 or 6 ticks, and then it came back up and stopped me out at break even again before this huge move down. Now, I did not have a sell stop on at 14.45. Dwayne, way back here when we were talking about this, Dwayne and Bert and I were all talking about, well, they were particularly talking about the 14.45 area. I was just looking at what was here in front of me at the time. We did say if we break down below 14.43, there's a lot of air between here and the next level down. So I think that that's probably what Dwayne's holding on for right now. However, if we had closed the trade that he's in right now, he'd be up $200 on it, roughly. That would make us positive about $160 on the morning session. Excluding that trade that Dwayne's in right now, we were minus $40 on the morning session. It was our first down day since the 15th. That said, the live trade that's on right now puts it back positive. Okay, let's jump off of the soybeans right now, and we'll go to the ES because that is where I had another trade that worked out. Right in here, we were talking about a lot of things in here this morning with the partners in the live trading room, and what looked good, what didn't look good, and the market this morning was pretty choppy all around the weekly trading zone right here. Okay, you see the ES was really choppy all around the weekly trading zone, so that made me kind of hesitant to take any trades in the stock index markets. I didn't take any trades in the Russell. Hang on, I didn't take any trades in the Russell, and let me just exit that. There. Okay, I didn't take any trades in the Russell, and I did take a trade on the NQ. I took a break even on the trade on the NQ. Okay, I didn't take any trades on the YM. We did talk about them, though. I did take this trade here on the ES when Andrew, one of our partners, had asked me where we would look to short over here. I had pointed out that we had the bearish divergence, and I would look to short on the down close over here. And I actually put the order on, and I forgot about it. And by the time I saw that I had the order on, I was plus 8 or 10 ticks, I think, even at once. And so I just took 8 ticks profit on it. Okay, so I took 2 points profit on the ES trade. That was it. Now what we look for in this is for the MA1, this blue and red line, to cross down below the BBC, which is the green line, pull back up, test the BBC, and move down here. Okay, and move down there. Okay, and move down there to give us a down close with the bearish divergence, and that's where you take the trade. Down close with the bearish divergence. You can short it down to there. Now there was another opportunity in here. You can also, if If for some reason you don't have the divergence, you can short below the trend line that I've drawn over and over and over and over and over and over and over again as price approaches the BBC. In this case right here, right now, we do have some bearish divergence, so you could have shorted actually right over here on the ES at 1403 and a half. Looking for it to get down here at least to 1402 and a quarter. Okay, that was the ES this morning. Let me go over the NQ. I only took one trade on the NQ, if I remember right. I did right here. I drew this trend line as after this huge move down right here. As price was approaching the BBC, I drew a trend line up. We closed down below that trend line. I took the short right in here, and it was taking forever and going sideways, so I just moved my stop up to break even, and it got me out of break even. You can see that it did end up working out. I drew some other trend lines in here as price was moving down. You could have gotten short right in here, though I didn't. Then we got into this choppy period right here where there was nothing, and then right in here you can see the price was just ratcheting its way up. Okay, how could you have traded that? Well, the first trade would have been right here with bullish divergence. Our morning session ended right here, but the first trade would have been right here with bullish divergence on the up close after testing the BBC, right in there. All right. The next opportunity would have been over here once you put in the higher swing. You lost the divergence there, but what you did gain was an area for price to get above to continue the trend up. All right, so right in here is where you would have been looking to get long on that for that move up. If you missed that one, you could have done it again right here. All right, so the spot would have been there or there or over here. These are all spots where you could have jumped in the market as it continued the trend on the way up. All right. Now over here it got down below the MA1. It got down below the BBC. The MA1 and the black line got down below the BBC. And once that happened, it started changing directions on you. So that's when you start looking in the opposite direction. Okay. Right in here. Could have shorted that one. Right over here, as it's approaching the BBC, after the black line and the MA1 get below the BBC, that's when you start changing directions. If you have divergence down here, you can, actually this one right here would have been moved over to this spot right here because we had the bearish divergence here, so you just need to down close after testing the BBC. And I haven't looked at the questions yet to see if anybody has any. All right. I must be doing such a great job of explaining this. All right. That was the NQ. That was the NQ. All right. I did point out a couple of trades here on the euro this morning. Here was one right here, down close right there. You could have shorted. Another one right here you could have shorted on the euro. I don't think I pointed out anything else on the euro this morning. But we did have those couple of trades available in there. Let me jump back over here on this other monitor to crude oil. Let's see, crude, I took a long trade right in here after missing this nice long trade right here. I had pointed that out to everyone in the live trading room, but I didn't take it myself. I missed it. That ran up 10 cents, came back down. Didn't actually hit the BBC. If it had touched the BBC there, we would have looked for an earlier entry right here. As it was, I entered right in here. Oh, I didn't enter in there. Sorry. My bad. I entered over here. What did I do there? Oh, I entered on the up close above the trend line over here. There was an entry over here as well. That moved up about 6 or 8 ticks, would have given a break-even trade, probably, or if you took some small profit. I entered over here though, and this one just turned right around, stopped me out, and that was actually topping action right here. You see how we have lower highs and lower lows, so that was topping action right there. Then the market just made this big move up. How could you have entered in that? Well, there and there. Once the MA1 got above the BBC, you know you're looking for long trades. You had some bullish divergence down here. Everything's supporting the move up, and then it goes up. Okay. Since then, it's been choppy to sideways, but that was the one trade that I lost over there. On gold, let me blow up gold. Okay, I took a couple of trades on gold this morning, a few trades, I guess. Let's see, the open was right in here. All right, this was from the open From the open, this was the first opportunity right in here. I had drawn this trend line. There's an up close right above it right there for a gain of about 8 or 10 ticks. Now when I say 8 or 10 ticks, that may not seem like a lot, but if you have 10 contracts on, then that right there, 8 or 10 ticks, is 800 to $1,000 right there, and you're done trading by 9:39 if your goal is that on a daily basis. The next trade I did take right in here. I took the up close above the trend line. We still had some bullish divergence, but the cycle was headed down a little bit, so I wasn't counting that as divergence. I wasn't looking for a bounce off the BBC. I was just looking for the close above the trend line. I did get long there. Once we closed up above the MA1, I moved my stop to break even, and it came back and got me a break even. Actually, I think I was plus a couple of ticks there. Or no, I was break even on that one. You can see it did have a nice run up afterward. Came back down, didn't give any entry opportunity on the way down. Did give one right here. Once everything crossed below the BBC, there was a shorting opportunity right in there. Just looking. Nope, there was no opportunity in here per se. Right, actually this right here, let me draw the trend line. What you would have been looking at was a trend line, yeah, trend line like that. There was no opportunity in here. It went sideways for quite a while, then it got long again over here, it caught a bid. There was the trend line right there. There was a close above it. We even had a little bit of bullish divergence. That moved up nicely. I was drawing a trend line over here, hoping to be able to get in on the long trade, but unfortunately, this is the way it panned out once it put this bar in right here. So we didn't get an opportunity in there. The next chance that we got was right over here. I shorted over here, and I took a little bit of profit on that one. And then I shorted again here, and I got stopped out on that one. So I got plus a couple of ticks here and -8 there. That put me at -6 overall with the gold. And I did not realize how close to the end of the day we were. There were some more opportunities in here on the gold, but I was showing some other things in the live trading room, and I did not get to take advantage of them. As things stand right now on the gold, we just had an up close right there. You see we had the bullish cross of the MA1 over the BBC. Price pulled back down, tested the BBC. We had bullish divergence down here in the bottom. Bullish divergence there. And bullish divergence there. When I say bullish divergence, I mean on this indicator alone. The green line is moving away from the cycle portion of the slingshot. The cycle portion is the longer term trend. Alright, so the longer term trend is up. The green line is saying you got a short pullback. It's looking for some area of support, and it found it in actually both of these spots right here. So you could have gotten long right here. Now, this is 16.98 even, and it went up to 16.99 too. That's 12 ticks. Earlier I said 8 or 10 ticks on those moves. Let's just say you took 10 ticks out of this. It's not the whole move, it's 10 ticks. 5 contracts, that's $500. 10 contracts, that's $1,000. 1 contract, it's $100. Follow it right up with this one right here, same exact type of thing. 1698.3, and where did that go? 1699.4. 1 contract, that's another $100. 5 contracts, that's another $500. You guys can do the math. It happens over and over and over again. All right. That's it. I'm going to wrap it up right here. For everybody that's on the free trial, you guys either should have or will be getting something in your email that tells you how to become a partner. If you're interested in becoming a partner, then that's all you got to do. Just check your email. If you don't have it in your email and you want it, send me an email at support@cfrn.net. That's support@cfrn.net. And just put partner info in the subject line. Okay? But check your emails. You should be getting something anyway. And everybody that is a partner, reminder Thursday night partners meeting this week, 9 p.m. Eastern. All right. With that, I'm going to wrap it up. All right.